Sports are great, aren't they? Having a team to root for and watching how they progress is extremely addicting. Learning more about the people you're cheering for makes it even better because you're able to humanize the sport a little bit. Of course, we can't forget fantasy leagues, where you can create your own team based on how you think players will do in the coming weeks. But there's one thing missing that can make sports even that much better: a story. Sure, everyone loves an underdog story, but there's more to it than that. I'm talking about watching a team go from nothing to something while also showing their struggles and triumphs during everyday life. This is where sports anime comes up. There are a lot of different genres when it comes to anime, but I think most people can agree that there are four main demographics: shonen, shoujo, seinen, and josei. When it comes to anime, we can, for the most part, separate almost every show into one of these categories because of the genres associated with them. Typically, you have your battle shonen, shoujo romances, seinen psychological thrillers, and atmospheric josei. The great thing about sports anime is that it's one of the few genres that is in every demographic. You have Kuroko's Basketball, which was published as a manga in Shonen Jump, and features many attributes that a typical battle shonen would have, such as superpowers, while also being about basketball. There's Aim for the Ace, which is an older title, but is still a fantastic romance anime about tennis. For seinen, there's Redline, a movie which focuses on racing with themes of love, politics, and war, all crammed into 1 hour and 42 minutes. Josei is the hardest one to find much in, mostly because of its small library of shows relative to other demographics, but there still is one, Chihaya Furu. Of course, this isn't all. Do you like fan service? Check out Harukana Receive. What about character dramas? Ashita Nojo is one of the best around. Want to learn about a new sport? Try Stride Alternative. It's a show about Stride, which is basically the combination of parkour and racing. Of course, having genres filled with different sports anime doesn't guarantee their quality, but that's what's so great about the genre of sports anime. There are so many different options to choose from that it'll be next to impossible to not find something that you like. I honestly believe that everybody and their mother can enjoy at least one sports anime, even if it's not one that I enjoy. However, one of the shows that I think everyone can find something great about is Free. At fault mostly to the fandom, there are a lot of people who refuse to watch the show because it's about a bunch of pretty boy swimmers. I'm always of the opinion that every show should get a fair shot, and a show's quality should be determined by its actual content rather than what people say the content is. But I know not everyone thinks this way. Just give me a couple of minutes to sell you on this show. Free's story really is nothing special. It's a typical underdog story where the school that the main characters go to does not have a team and they create one. They're the underdogs of the competition and, spoiler alert, they end up blowing expectations out of the water. Get it? Because they're swimmers? Now that we have the worst part of Free out of the way, we can get into what makes the anime amazing to me. Simply put, it's the characters, and it really has nothing to do with whether I can relate to them or not. Each character goes through their own arc throughout the show without it feeling rushed or disconnected from everyone else. The character development of the show heavily lies on the fact that each of these characters are friends, and in the end, the main message of the show is about how great friendship is. Each one of these characters has a wildly different personality, but each of them complements each other instead of grading against one another. One of the relationships that displays this best is Haru and Makoto's. Haru is the main character and, over the course of the show, learns how to communicate with his friends and depend on them. Makoto is not the antithesis of this, but he is dependent on his friends and learns how to overcome this and trust in himself more. These two have been friends since primary school and, shown explicitly in the movie High Speed Free Starting Days, have had a relatively volatile relationship because of their communication problems. Throughout the show, you can see them work out their problems with one another and grow to be better people. Even from the prequel movie, which was made after Season 2, you can see character development changes between the end of the movie and the beginning of Season 1. Oh, yeah, and they swim too. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what this has to do with a sport, and that's exactly my point. The sport is typically not the main focus, but having a sport as a focus gives you something to root for outside of just watching characters. It gives the characters a concrete goal to work toward, while also being able to have more abstract ideas presented to let the audience learn a lesson from it. The other thing that I absolutely love about sports anime is the motivation and inspiration it gives me to want to be better. I'm not going to pretend that this is a universal thing, because many people cite Dragon Ball Z as their inspiration to train harder and get better. Battle Shonen definitely inspires me to do better, and a lot of the times when I'm watching one, I'll find myself doing some push-ups or squats, and after finishing the show, it'll make me go, run for the day, but that motivation never seems to last. With sports anime, I feel almost an obligation to these characters to be better and better myself, whether that's through exercise, eating right, or working on projects I've had on the back burner for a while. Sports are fun to watch. Every Saturday I sit down to watch some college football, but it never gets me to be better, and once the game is done, I'm typically done watching. That's what makes sports anime so special. You get to see the daily lives of these athletes, as well as seeing their games, matches, meets, what have you. And knowing these characters on a more personal level allows these moments to be even more exciting than when your team runs a 99-yard touchdown.
Picked off again by Minka Fitzpatrick. What a game he is having, and he's going to take it out of the end zone. And he's got a blocker in front with Allen to beat. How about it, folks? Minka Fitzpatrick.
Thanks for watching the video. If you want to hear me talk more about sports anime with my buddy Nick, check out our podcast, The Two Dweebs. You can also check out the last video I made right over here. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.